Hi everyone, this is Terry. One of the things you can do in PE Design 11 is to change your center point and reference point in certain stitches and shapes in the region fills. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We'll clear our screen. We'll go to a shape. It can be any shape. I'll just choose a circle to show you this. And on the screen you see I have a flexible spiral stitch. If I go to Node Select, you notice I have a center point. I can move the center point inside or outside of a circle in any direction to change the center point of this design. I'll move it outside, and one of the other things that I can do is I can change this entire shape by just selecting the nodes and readjusting them. So now instead of a circle, I have a Christmas tree. So let's look at another example. I'll go ahead and choose a heart this time. And we'll choose a different stitch. This time we'll choose a concentric circle. And when we choose a concentric circle and we select the node select, you notice that you can also change the reference point on this. Now, it may not be as apparent to you in this view, so you can go to Stitch View and you can see how those stitches are following that center point. We'll choose File New. We'll go back to Realistic View. And we'll go back to Shape and we'll select another shape. If you go into a spiral stitch and you select Node Select, you don't see that. So there's some stitches that don't have a reference point or a center point. The concentric circles does, the radial stitch does. Again, you can move this and the stitches follow. I'll choose Undo. And we'll go back and look at some of the other stitches. So the concentric circle does, the radial stitch does, and the flexible spiral fill does. You can see that here. We'll choose Undo. Now let's look at some of the other fills. Let's go to a programmable fill stitch. When you select a programmable fill and you have the node select on, you can change the reference point of where that fill stitch is within that shape. So you can see that that fill stitch is moving based upon where I place the reference point. And if you're unfamiliar with programmable fills, you can find the folder right here. You can select a different programmable fill if you want to see what a different look you might have. This is somewhat small, but you can see that it's moving this around on the screen. Let's choose another one. And you probably will get a better idea of this. You can see that it's moving. Another example of this is with a motif stitch. So I have the last motif stitch that I use. And one of the things you'll see, if I was stitching this out and I wanted to have more of this motif stitch in that design, I can move my reference point so that it changes the appearance of this. And if I wanted to have, complete designs, you can see how I was able to achieve that. We'll choose Net Fill. Net Fill is another one where you can change the reference point. And then also with a zigzag net fill, So if I wanted this pattern more in the center of that design, that's how I could achieve that. And the last one is with a decorative fill stitch. So in this case, if I wanted to shift the pattern of that decorative fill stitch, I can move this around until I see the pattern that I'm wanting to see in my design. And when I'm satisfied with it, I would leave it as it is. I hope this gave you a little insight into using the reference points and the center points to adjust shapes and the fills within those shapes. Thank you for your time today. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe to them and share them with a friend.